Okay, I think we're going to be going live here soon. Okay. I think we're live. I think we're good. I think we are looking good. Oops, I just closed a window. Did not mean to do that. There we go. Let me know if anyone's in here yet. Let me go down to bangers. Sure. Seems a little quiet. Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining. I'm going to post in the Discord because it hasn't actually posted the update yet. So let me also share our link that we're doing right now. We get the live link. Get shareable link, sure. Okay. In fact, I'll also post that on the YouTubes. I think we're good. Okay, we can go and post that now. Cool. Well, I guess I'll say this for the VOD's sake. I'm just going to be working on a project, working on the macro creator, and just chilling out, answering questions, talking with you guys. So if you have any questions, happily share them with me. We can just chat, whatever. But I will be sharing my screen here. Hopefully you don't steal my code. I'm joking. Please don't, though. So yeah. We might as well just switch over to the screen then. Let me give a quick preview in a second. Just gonna check. Anyone seen the Discord message? Anyone seen the messages? Hello? This is not my regular time of streaming. I know. It's weird. But hopefully we can get some more people in here, or at least some people who said that they might be able to join will be able to join. My poll was very, very clear that now and Fridays at 7 was like the best times to stream, so I'm going by what you guys have told me. Oop, I can't hide this. Okay. Alrighty. Let's shrink my head. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get working. No one's here yet, it seems, so I'm just gonna start working on things. So I have recently been working on making the exporting for Reactor working. So basically creating an atomizer. Here, let me switch over to my screen here in a second. Okay. So I'm over here working in the atomizer for my macro creator. For those of you who don't know what the atomizer is, when you make a reactor tool, they have you turn it into an atom, which is what they call their packages. This link, I think, describes that. Yeah. This link right here that they... This is not a song from a game, but okay. That was just the weirdest thing on my screen all of a sudden. It describes a little bit about their packages and like how to package them up, what they need, stuff like that, and it shows you some examples. I am basically creating something that makes these right now, but this is the one by default. I'm just going to make a dummy folder on my desktop again. So this is what it originally looks like. It is a big mess of stuff, and it's humongous. I'm guessing most screens don't like this, and it can work smaller, but man, that is still pretty big. Mine's not too much smaller, to be fair. But you put in your name, you put in the name of the tool, package of stuff, whatever it is. You give it one of the categories of the millions they have. And then you give it a version number, one of the days, autofills with today's date. You can choose your donation link, the optional suggested amount, and then you have like an HTML editor for the body and description of your product or tool. And then you can also put in dependencies and like essentially this is the folder structure of your tool. And then this is the folder and then all these other options. What's up? Yeah, you're running across a busy road. You're running across a busy road. Why? Anyway, you be safe. I talk to myself all the time. It's fine. It's fine. It's true though. I do. Anyway, so yeah, you can. This is like an HTML editor. You can make things bold. Hello, and work is making you go across a busy road. R.I.P. Good luck. On a Saturday too? Gosh, I doubt you get paid enough for that. But then you got this nice bolding here, and it's really cool. You can italicize things. I don't like how they are constantly adding new indentations. I find that really annoying, but I also don't have a way of actually fixing it. So we're just stuck with the indentations that all these keep creating. So every single button you make creates a brand new line, and you have to manually reposition everything to where it's actually sitting correctly. I also don't like how they only have an H2. Why not have an H1? Do they not allow for H1s? I don't know. I don't know why they have it set up like this. Some of the choices that they made for this don't make any sense. But I'm kind of replicating it anyway because it's already done like that somewhere else. So I'm working on turning that into a bite-sized version for just exporting macros. So I have export for reactor. Mine's a much smaller window, at least by default. It will autofill with your company or your personal name. This takes it from your computer's username. So whatever your username is, it'll just autofill in here, which is good for some people, not good for others. But at the same time, you can also put a company name in here, which is what I'll be doing most of the time. So there's that. But everything with a star next to it will also have the option to save for next time. So if you change this and have this checked, it'll autofill with whatever you had in there last time. And say, not same thing for tool name. Tool name inherits whatever was in here. And that is just by default what it's going to expect your tool name to be unless you tell it otherwise. It should still export this name as the file name if you want it to. However, I haven't gotten there yet, so it's fine. You can also choose, is this a fusion macro? If it is, then we don't need much more information. I'll just be creating a folder for your username or for your company name, and then putting your macro in there. If it's a edit page macro, then you'll need to choose the type it is. So if it's a transition, title, generator, or effect, and these just appear because it's awesome like that. And then you can also optionally put in another like pack name. So if this is a part of a bigger pack, you can give it a specific name, and then this will like make another folder inside of your company name. So, sorry. Excuse me. I just ate big dinner, so I'm gassy. Like when we export for DRFX, we have all of this here. We can choose the type, and we can choose the folder, and then we can choose another folder. What I'm talking about with this wasn't supposed to do that, I think. When you... Yeah, I wasn't supposed to do that. I don't know why I opened that. I'll have to fix that. Oh, I know why I did that. Never mind. I have a value not being reset. It's fine. This is essentially the inner folder from your company name. So it's going to create a folder called edit, because it's an edit page macro, transition, your company name, and then it's going to create a folder for this tool or for this field if this field's filled in. And then we have the version number. It's going to by default always going to go to 1, I think, because I can't predict what your version number is. You just have to change it. This will always autocomplete to the current day with month, day, year. Hey Henry, how's it going? I'm just describing my my exporting for Reactor script. I can show off the original, the atomizer, here in a second. But this is the version for the macro creator. It is pretty cool. It has a lot of stuff going on, and I'll have to walk everyone through it. Like, it fills in a bunch of things intelligently. There's a donations link. You can select how much you want them to do. I might have to change this slightly and give a drop-down box so that you can choose what type of link this is. Because apparently, if it's a regular link versus a mail link, they have to be different. Like, mailing has to be mail to than your email. So, I'm thinking I'm either going to have to auto-detect if it's an email, or just fill in put a combo box there. Just saying, hi, you gotta go soon. All right, Henry. You have a good day. Or a good rest of your day. Good evening. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys on the Discord. And then you also get to choose your Atom folder. This is where the Atom's actually going to be stored. And it's going to create a folder there. So expect a folder, don't expect an actual file. But when you press open, it'll open up to your actual path. Because I think after you hit browse and select the location, it will automatically create the folder for you. It will also tell you what the folder name is, which is going to be... Do I have an example open? Yeah. Let me get... Where's my other... Okay. Let me get... Actually, this is a good example. This is what we're working in right now. This folder has com.yourname.yourpackage. So it's going to be including this with no spaces and this with no spaces with a dot at the front, or with a com at the front with dots in between. And then the file name is the same thing but .atom, and then this is what all the data goes into to actually create it. Right now, I believe it is empty with just some basic parameters. But as you get adding it, it'll add more stuff into here. This is what I'll be making all this information into, is this exact same type of table that they have going on. If I open up another example from from Andrew Hazelden, I think. He made his UI manager Lua and Python examples. This is a bunch of stuff that you don't really need to know because of deploy, but we have these different categories. We have Atom as the main section category thingy-majig, table name, I guess. And we have all these different IDs for different things inside of it. So we have, this is the entire description, and it's a multi-line string because it has the two brackets. That's what multi-line strings can do. And there's also the deploy, which is a bunch of file paths, which is gibberish for those of you who don't know what this is. Essentially, Reactor has like their own file pathing system to where it's easy for them to figure out where everything needs to go. So what I am making today is finishing up, collapse everything that we don't need, the logic for the UI, and maybe trying to fix some things with the UI. Get up here to look at what we're talking about. This right here is all the code for detecting what button you've clicked. I might add another button for tables, maybe. Also maybe for images, but I don't think there's a good way for images to be handled. Off the top of my head, I don't think there is. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at that. But I want to be able to get this selection. I'm trying to figure that out of the text. But for the atomizer, let's quickly actually look at everything else here. So you can choose the folder path, which I just talked about. You can... I'm covering up the chat in case people are talking. You choose the thumbnail file for your macro, and you can enable to export the loader images, and you can save all those options for next time, the ones that are starred. And then we also have the description HTML editor. We can type in the name. This is going to give the name of the macro. It actually currently does. It's just called test. If we were to change this to my macro, for example, spelled wrong even, we would say, it would say my macro up here, and it has my macro down here. So all the fields are filled out accurately. And you can still put in HTML if you know what it is. So we can even make this, we can cancel the H1, and then we can make this centered again and make it H2 because we're funny. And then if we type in here, yeah, it won't take anything in. We can then just like get typing. We can make our description. We can add an ordered list. So we can do something like that. In which I think I need to change this because I have them separated, but I probably should have them put together. It probably makes more sense to have them put together, so you can type in between it. We can also do an unordered list. Just like that. And then we can add a list item with easily like that. We can center, bold, strike through, underline, make it H1, H2, that still says H2. Yeah, I need to fix that. And then we have paragraph, color, and then we have, it also prints the link for every color that you can make. So if you copy this and put it into your browser, you'll see all the possible HTML colors you can type into this field. And we can also then add a link instead. And there we go. You can't add links to console. I tried. I wanted to. But from what I can tell, there's no way to. Which sucks. Really wish you could, but unfortunately not. Alright. So what I need to do... At the moment, nothing's really doing anything. Besides these buttons, I guess first off, let's fix H3, which I just have all of the code for this stuff in here. Yep, I did not change for H3. That's my bad. Thought I did, but I probably just did H2 again. And let's put these on the same lines along with the list item. Okay. That should be a little bit cleaner looking. We can put this up here. That's not needed to be down there. Okay. That's looking better. Yeah. I wish I could add it all into the string like I do for labels. Since we're not working with a single line, things are a little bit harder. People will have different things they want to type in, different places. Don't want to accidentally override something, which, I mean, if you're using strings, it shouldn't be a problem. You can modify strings out the wazoo for these things, for Lua. Cool, okay. And now H3 works. Fantastic. And the lists are made up like this. Good. I believe... Ignore that voice guy. Yeah, I don't know why it's not doing it, but it should be creating an indented list item here. If someone knows how to do that, let me know, because I'd love to be able to like create an indented list. But if you wanted to add another line, you would have to do this, cut it, and then put it into here. In which, if you press tab, it's wrong, and I don't know why. Something's wrong with my tab scaling, so I have to look into that. Which is kind of what I was doing before the stream, but I couldn't figure it out. What I did do right before the stream is give it some hotkey management, which if you do Control W or Control F4, you'll close the current window. But it's only for those two windows. If you try to do that for any of the other ones like label, you'll probably just close the main window. No, you can't even close this window because it's the active window. So what you'd have to do is go into here and then close it. Also, I did make the label window smaller if you just saw that. Before it was pretty big because I couldn't figure out how to make the other things, these things smaller, like the button sizes were just huge. But now that they're smaller, they're a little easier to manage and you can just start typing things in. This is my label. We can give it strike through, or underline I mean, strike through. Make that header instead of that, make it a paragraph. Pretty cool stuff. This is really, really powerful. I really like how this functions. I think this works really good. The fact that you can just like click a button and it enables it and you can quickly disable it. Super cool stuff. I might even create the logic that if you click one of the headers, bold becomes undone. Because if you click one of the headers, this is just bolded anyway. Like if we try to bold it now, this won't do anything. But if we switch it back over to paragraph, then we're bolded again. But if we go over to like H3, we can see clearly that is still bolded, even with the bold turned off. So yeah, I might also disable bold. Yeah, if you can see, I have it set up to where if you unclick any of these, oh, it's not actually. Oh, interesting. It's not actually setting it to paragraph. It's supposed to. Because when you unclick one of these, it's supposed to either set it back to default. Interesting. Okay, yeah, sets it back to without anything, but it's not updating the label. Okay, this is just a bug, I'm pretty sure. It's not supposed to look like that, because there's no... Okay, that's really strange that it's doing that. I don't know what's happening with that. We can ignore that for now. It shouldn't be having that problem. So, my nose got itchy. What should we do next? Probably start getting the information from this. Actually, I want to try to make this stuff aligned right here. So align to the top of here. That's why this is so weird, because the reactor code looks just like mine. I'm basing this off of the atomizer, the original atomizer. So I'm trying to figure out how they do some of this stuff. But then I look at how I'm doing it and I'm like, this is the exact same shit. We don't need the startup window. Because the startup window is just asking if you want to start doing stuff. I need new package window. No, I don't need new package window. Where is it? Create atom. No. Where is the window being created? I don't understand. I could have sworn it would have been right there, but I guess not. Just go up to the top. Up here. I'm sure this makes sense to them, but this is honestly just chaos to me. I think we're almost there. Yeah, here we go. This would be the main code, it looks like. All right, so let's look at this. This is why I don't like things. Things are really weird. So the weight of the label for just author is 0.1. This does not have a weight, which means this is going to take up the rest of the space. Same thing for right here. The only big difference is I think 01 is what they're using, and I don't think I'm using 01. I'm using the exact same stuff they are, but yet why does mine look different? They don't have a certain like spacings set. If I get rid of weight 0, I don't know. Would that change it? Is that how drastic of a change it's going to cause? If this is what the only thing that was causing the problem is, I'm going to be a little upset. Give it test. What do you know? It didn't work. Why is this one, for example, all the way over here? Well, now a bunch of them are touching their text. They shouldn't be. If we look at the atomizer, it looks so clean. Everything's all lined up. Why doesn't mine look like that? Give it a bogus. Look at that. How do you have the... They're not doing anything special. Like, it looks almost identical. To the fact that I forgot I was even looking at the macro over here. Look at this. We have V group, then H group. Okay. V group, then H group. Cool. The weight of this H group is 0.1. Then we have a label with an ID, a weight, and text. We have a label with an ID, weight, and text. The weight being set to 0.1 on both of them. We have a line edit tool with an ID, placeholder text, and text. No weight. And I have a line edit tool with just an ID because I don't have placeholder text. I could. It's already autofilling, so what's the point? Why isn't this looking the exact same? What is going on? Why is it doing this? This is no longer a rhetorical question. If anybody does know, and if anybody is here, I would love to know. I don't know if anybody's here, though. I don't have that doc open. Let me open it. It's the wrong stats. Okay. If anyone has questions, by the way, I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm not just here to do work. If you guys have stuff to say, have any questions for me, want to know what the heck I'm doing, feel free. I'm not just here to do stuff. I would love to know what you guys want to talk about or what you guys have questions about. I'm just doing this because it's something that I can pass the time with, and I need to work on it to get it done. Because this is a large project that is beginning to annoy me that I'm still working on it. Hey, how's it going, Franklin? Things are going okay. As you can see, I am buried in code trying to figure crap out. Okay. We don't need these labels. We can get rid of these labels. Oh, your name is Franken. Oh. I just used to call you Doc, I guess. I don't know. I quickly saw the first part of your name and I was like, yeah, Franklin, that's it. This is what I'm replicating. I'm trying to recreate this, but streamlined for macros, which you don't know what that is because you don't use DaVinci, which is fair enough. But it's not a very commonly done thing. Even that tool doesn't even have a macro option, which I find super dumb. Can't even export a macro with that tool. This is my tool now. And this is my version of that tool. I'm trying to get everything to line up in a row. And my stuff's not doing that. Why it's not doing that makes no sense. Because there's no reason for that. We have everything categorized into age groups. That's exactly what I'm doing. Things are exactly how I'm doing them. What the fuck? Why does it look weird? What is wrong with my code? Why is it fucking broken? I'm doing exactly what they're doing. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. But like, it should be working. Why isn't it working? If I make the shit 0, what happens? If I make their weights 0 for the line edits, what will happen? Will it cry? Will it do nothing? Will I cry? That's the better question. Probably not, but if I tried using a hammer. No, but I have used my hands to my desk before because I've gotten that upset. Because it's just like, why don't this shit work? Okay, that's just fucking gone. It's just gone. Okay. Also, what the heck is that talking about? Edit type star? Give it a kiss. I'm good. What is edit type star? That's not what I copied. What? What do you mean it's a nil value? What? Oh wait, it is a nil value. What happened to that? Huh? Why is there a star in front of it? How did star get there? What the fuck? It should just be edit type. Yeah, look at that. It's edit type right there. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know how Star got there. That's fun. You might chime in later. You gotta eat. Okay, see ya. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. We had some steak tonight. I cooked it up. It was real good. Real tasty. I think it was ribeye. Really, really fatty meat. Did not like that. Oh, I left weight 0. I'm not a fan of the fat on the meat, especially since that crisped up way too fast. Plus, the steak was really thin, was poor quality. They were really cheating us on our steak tonight. Really, really badly done by that store. Okay, now it exists again. I don't know. Star just wanted to appear. Wanted to become a star. Okay. Why don't this shit work? Why do you look ugly as hell? Do I need a... Did they call to this window and set a certain value or something? Like, what? They do set geometry, but that's not related to that. Okay, tons of this jargon that does not need to be here. Going down again. Okay. Oh, and then we have the title. Okay. I don't understand why it's like this. Did they call to win at all? That's checking for what a button was clicked, what happens then. When the combo box is changed. When you press the donation button. You can do that on the... Is that a button on here? I should just take a screenshot of this. I don't know why I keep having to reopen it. It's really annoying having to choose the desktop every single time. I might just take a screenshot. Oh, there was an open link button. I don't know why I didn't think that there was one. That should help. Why is it tiny? Who asked for you to be a little pipsqueak? Okay. Well, why? Stop. Damn. Okay. We didn't open this anymore. Do I have a link button? What did I think about that? I don't think I thought about that. I don't. There's no button here. Okay. The biggest problem, though, still is why aren't they organized? Why aren't they organized? Like, if I stretch it out really, really far, then they'll kind of be organized. Do I just have to give them more padding? Is that really it? But then I have to, like, guess. Like, how much padding that they need to be actually even. This is the wrong file. Like, I have to guess how much weight I have to give them. That feels dumb. It feels really stupid that I have to do that. If I give it 2, will it even change it, I guess is the question? Because the way that weight works, I wouldn't think that it would. Okay, that did give more spacing. So 350. 350. What about 350? $3. I'm having a stroke. $3.50. What? Is that how much you get paid? I'm confused. If you get paid $3.50 to cross a busy street during your work hours, then I'm sad. I feel sad for you. Sounds like a really horrible existence. Sorry, that was really mean. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, it is moving. Do I have to give this like 0.25 or something? Whoa. Closed everything on accident. How much weight? Yeah, the weight is really weird. I guess I kind of know why it's called that. Because it's like, how much of the space does it take up? And I guess weight makes sense for that to a degree. I don't know why they chose it, because they also have padding and everything. Nah, they pay like 32 an hour or something. Not enough sometimes. 32 an hour is not bad. I have never had a job that paid me that much. What? For crossing busy streets, and I'm guessing you probably do way worse than that on your like day-to-day at work. Yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna guess it's probably 2.3 instead of 2.5. Let's see. The most annoying part about already having it as an installable script is that every time I want to install, or every time I want to test it, I have to reinstall it. Only took 8 years to get you to 32 an hour? Holy crap, dude. I mean, I've been doing like fast food jobs a lot of my life, like from high school on. Maybe, no, not middle school. I think just high school is when I started. I can't remember off the top of my head. We're getting closer. Yeah. Yeah, started at 12. Oh boy. 12, not 16? Dang. That sounds like it's breaking some labor laws. Is it 2? because it still is over. By the way, this is just the console. I realized you can't really see this too well. This just tells me if there's any errors, but it's also telling me whenever it's installed correctly. After I added a feature to when it installs, it's been really slow at installing. So I might actually add a installing pop-up as well, so the user is not super confused. I did restaurant jobs for like 10 years. I'll run across the road any day. That's fair. Restaurant jobs suck ass. They're honestly one of the worst. I guess 215? I don't... What? Export from reactor. Geez, this is like a really exact number. And if I make this bigger anyway, will it just fuck up what I just did? It does. Look at that. So it's only good for like the default size anyway. How do I fucking... Why? What is wrong with this thing? Let's look at reactor. Let's look at atomizer. If we increase the size of atomizer, does it do shit? Does it go off of alignment? No. If you get closer, it does. But that makes sense. That's logical. This doesn't make any sense to me. Is it... What if I give all of them like the exact same padding or weight? But then we're gonna fuck up everything else. I don't understand, dude. This is what I have to deal with like 30% of the time, is I try to do something exactly like somebody else and it just decides that I'm not worthy. Everyone else is though, but me, nah. Ooh. Oh shit. I am worthy again. Holy crap, dude. I'm worthy. I'll probably make this 2-3. I do know that not everything's going to work this way. Because not everything is set up the same way. Some things have all these multiples of things, which cause problems. Yeah, you could say that. And then these don't have labels. This is a dummy label. This is, yep, that needs to be that size. Okay. Let's try this. By the way, what I was just doing there, you can select multiple lines with VS Code at the same time and edit them all at the same time to save time. Okay, test. Let's take a look. Okay, almost. Some of these things are still misaligned because they have other things inside of them, which makes sense. Oh, jeez. What is happening here? What is that doing? What? Is it the two buttons that are like really throwing this off? What is happening with that? What? Let's see, that's the folder path and file path here. Oh, it's because these have weights. Let's remove these weights. I think they will have to have weight, but... Oh no, let's give these weights a 0. Sorry. This, I believe, is how they do it in their script. In the original atomizer. So we're going to try this. We're also going to do that with Maybe not these, maybe. What do they do for this? I keep wanting to say he, but I think multiple people worked on this project, so. Refresh working directory. It's further up. The preview, the code editor, donation amounts. Okay, and this is okay. So we probably don't need weights in here. I will say for this one though, they do make the weight 1 for this group. Oh no, this is different. There's 2 different groups in here. Okay. So they have an H group for the label, and then they have an H group for everything else. So just like this is how they set up their stuff for the year, date, month, and all that jazz. And these don't have weights, which is fine. But the label has the same weight. Okay, everything here should work then. Let's just see what it looks like. Let's re-download it, relaunch it. Let's take a look. Okay, the date is actually organized correctly. That's fantastic. That is doing what we want. That means we have to do that for everything that has more than one thing next to the label, which is fine. Because this is a weight of 1. I didn't give it this, but that's what it needs. Cool. Copy that now. And now for this, we can do the exact same thing. Tab these into 1 and put that there. Cool. That's all fine. It's all the same stuff. We have the label once again. Give it the group. End it off with the bracket. Tab everything in once. And get rid of the weight because we don't want that. We might make this weight 0 actually, since this is a. We might. I think I'll keep it like this actually, so that it still has some spacing. And then in here we'll add another H group. Tab all this. Bracket. The weights being 0 there are fine. Same thing for this one. We'll add the exact same thing. This is kind of just the process of coding. Oops. And then this should be fine because we want this to be aligned a little bit. I might add an empty label though. So if you add a label that how we just had in a previous video where we have weight equals 0 and frame style equals something like 4, we can actually change frame style to 0 and that'll give us just an empty label with nothing in it. And we can give it that padding to set these off a little bit so that they're aligned with everything else so that it's a little bit cleaner. We also have that at the end so that we're not butting up against the side, which is fine. I might yeah, this might work. We'll see. Because this should just fill it out with the rest of the way. And then everything else is for the bottom text. Cool. Now, if we were to launch this, it should look cleaner. Look at that. Clean. This isn't quite right. I'm guessing it's this at the end. But look at that. It's so clean now. It looks so good. Perfect. And these still show up fine. Cool. Yeah. That looks pretty good. Let's fix this real quick. So in here, let's change this. Let's give it the exact same padding and see what that does. I think it's just going to kind of center the stuff, which could work. I mean, I'd be fine with it being in the center. But I could also just center align the group. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. Yeah, pretty much is just center aligned. And it adapts correctly. Cool. Yeah, this is a good looking UI. Awesome. And if you get in too much, some of them do kind of collapse in. That's really bizarre. Don't know why that's doing that, but that's okay. I don't really care enough to worry about that. If people want to make it that small, then I guess go for it. But yeah, that's looking fantastic. Yeah, I'd say next up is just adding some functionality to it, getting all the data, and storing it in a file. Maybe when you press open, it creates the file instead of when you browse. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Because if you want to see the file, then yeah. Okay. This is the biggest issue down here because when it comes to the used fuses, I need the Atom package that you actually use, not just the author name and the fuse name, because the fuse name is like 99% of the time going to be different than what you just want it to be. Like if we get a fuse, like XGlow right here, we can edit it. Does this give us the info about the atom? I don't think it does. I need to figure out how to make atoms. They look really fun. They look really cool, but I honestly don't know if I could figure out the math to make a bunch of stuff do what they needed to do. I don't know. I might have an atom pack at some point in the future. We'll see. But yeah, like, there's no way to get the name of the creator in the same way that it's not the name of the creator, but the name of the fuse, the actual atom name of the fuse. Because if I do my search over here, this folder right here is all the fuses that atom or that reactor has, or all the atoms that reactor has. So if I look up XGlow, it's called XGlow, and it's from Muse VFX. Did you know it was from Muse VFX? Is it in Reactor? Open Reactor. If I look up just VFX, I don't know if I can actually search for the different authors. What was it called? Muse. If I type in Muse VFX, will it give me what I want? I think it actually does. Yeah, I think all this is actually from Muse VFX. So we can go down here to Glow. We can see the author, but that's not the same author that we see on the atom. We can see the ID. Okay. So we need to have the ID of the fuse we used. Okay. Which means I need to change this a little bit to say ID. So then we need to have an example. com dot author name dot I guess fuse name, and then I'll add another line and pretty much do the exact same thing so that they know separate it with a line break. Actually, should I separate it with a comma? Nah. So separating it with line break I think makes more sense. It's a little easier for them to understand. I do know that the original atomizer, I have it open. They don't actually have multiple. They just have a single. So they just have like a single example. And I'm going to create 2 line breaks and then say get this from reactor. Get this from reactor's final column. Now, if we were to install and run, macro creator create. I just have the Xglobe selected, but that doesn't matter. I'm not actually doing anything with it. Yeah, here we go. I think that looks pretty good. I don't think com is capitalized though. It's not. Com needs to be lowercase. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I mean, I think all the information is here. I'm using VS Code, Virtual Studio, or is it Virtual or Visual? Visual Studio Code. It's a Microsoft software, I think. It's like their only good software because I don't think they originally made it. And it's not part of their ecosystem. It is entirely on its own. But to get the like look that I have an extension that I just typed in Lua, and it's literally the first one that shows up. It's nothing special. I also you can sometimes see prettier down here. Prettier, I don't know if it's ever going to show up. But prettier is another extension that just makes code look prettier sometimes. Yeah, prettier code. This works in certain situations, but not in others. It will like auto-enable, and then it will not auto-enable. This one's a little bit iffy. But the first one that shows up when you type in Lua is good for Lua code. But Visual Studio Code, hands down, my favorite code editor. I'm not a huge fan of anything else. Definitely the best. Yeah, I'd say this is good to start adding some functionality to stuff. If we open this up, we can see, yep, that's been fixed. I mean, yeah. I think this should be formatted differently. I don't know why it says... I clearly did not mean to type that. Fuse IDs. There we go. I also noticed that you can't put apostrophes in the tool name. I didn't know that. It doesn't, like, it's not just like a coding problem. It just causes an error. I think that's part of what people use other things for. I forget what it's called, but there's like a whole like library of things that will translate certain characters for you. Like, I'm guessing, apostrophes. So let's just do this. Like here, if I put in like apostrophe, like I'm gonna do like tests, and I try to run something, it's a nil value. If I try to save as, it's a nil value. It does not like that comma there, or that apostrophe there. It's really weird. Export for reactor. What? attempt to index local T. Did something like type again? What line was this? 1657. Why am I up here? Is this not intentional? Did something break? This is under set field. This shouldn't run unless we're making a macro, which I guess we kind of were. Okay, let's just try relaunching it because I don't know why it's causing that weird problem. Maybe we were like, maybe we set a value and I didn't realize it. And I have to reset the value. Yeah, I think I set a value somewhere that I didn't mean to. Okay. So we got this coolness going on. I still really like this feature. The fact that when you change to macro, it gives you the macro options. That's like, as soon as I thought of this idea for this design, I was like, yeah, I really want that feature to exist, but I don't know if I can. By the way, this is my plan for this UI. Here, you can't really see that. This was my plan for it. You can see all of the, you maybe not see it, but all of the things that I was assigning, like author or company, tool name, extra info, all this stuff, you can see it written out on here in like a planned order. And I tried to make it as inclusive as possible, but I couldn't get some of the stuff on here. But yeah, I hand draw all of my UI ideas so I can get them on paper really fast. I don't like to make a whole mock-up in like Photoshop or like Illustrator or something because I feel like that's just a waste of my time. If I can just quickly get a pen out and draw it, I'm going to do that instead. But obviously you can do a full-on prototyping of like how you want it to look in like Photoshop or Illustrator. But that's like if you're working with a client, I'd say. Not really if you're working on your own. But yeah, should I make this over? Actually, I maybe should make this just smaller in general. I think I should. Yeah. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do for this... This is the one above this. Yep. Title. I'm going to give an empty label at the start and end to maybe make it in the middle. I think that'll work. Yep, there we go. It's in the middle. And I think if we center text, I think we'll be just fine. So if we do alignment, we can do align h center equals true. Okay. And I believe it'll just put it in the center of the text box. Let's see. It does. There we go. Good morning, Chad. How's it going? You can't see what I'm doing. I just noticed. How's it going, Chad? I'm working on the macro creator, but I'm working on specifically turning it into a reactor thing. Oh, you had a business call this morning. Oh, I hope that went well. Hope it was very businessy and successful. Hey, how's it going? I still don't know how to say your name, but good to see you here. I know I've seen you in the chat before, so how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Yep, this is the atomizer. It is, I just straight up stole the name from the guys from Reactor. It's Oleg, or just Oleg. Is the accent important? Is there a certain accent that I need to be attention to? Oleg? Okay. Um, yeah. I just recently just centered this. It feels off center because of this. I don't like that. Russian. Ah, okay. Yeah, oh yeah. I guess the characters are Russian, aren't they? Yeah. I don't know any other language that looks like that. So yeah, and then we also have typing in the description here. Congrats on the 600. I know I'm getting up there. Let's see where we're at right now. I think we're almost at 700 right now. Or did we just get past 600? Yeah, no. Yeah, we're just past 600. Catch my breath. We're just past 600. We're at 604 right now. Pretty good, but we have slowed down a lot. I've noticed there's a huge drought right now on subscribers, and I don't know why. Question. Say you have an animation, but you want the middle of the animation and okay, hold on. So you have an animation, but you want to have a middle animation and a macro, like you want P emitter to do one thing and be able to click a button and change the animation of the P emitter. Would I like have to have two nodes and program a button to turn one on and off? Like with keyframes? I guess that's an important question. With keyframes, or are you using like anim curves or something like that? But inside this body here, you can put in like bolding. You can bold your stuff. Oh, that's not supposed to do that. Oh, interesting. um, I haven't seen that before. Do I have to detect if it's the first line? Can I detect if it's the first line? I guess I have to detect if there's that in the string. Hmm. Am I not playing music anymore? Why does it keep doing this? Yes, please keep playing the playlist. It hasn't even been, it's barely been an hour, but I think that stopped a long time ago. What the heck? Alright, well, there's some tunes for you, because I guess we have to turn that back on. You can do, like you can use a button to set keyframes. We actually were just talking about this in the Discord. This was literally just a thread in the Discord with Henry. Hold on, let me answer a message real quick. Okay, sorry. I had to change or let someone know. Someone has a problem with one of my tools, and it's somewhat because I'm an idiot, but also they weren't trying all the options. Yeah, where did that go? Yeah, unique keyframing question. Where can I just copy a link? There we go. There is the link to the to that thread. It's a pretty long one. Henry and the guy talk for a while about how to do it. I need to actually read up how to do it because I have to do this exact same thing for a project for a client. The client being Orson. So I need to learn how to do that like tomorrow. Which, I mean, thankfully, we have this lovely doc now that was made just to answer a question because Henry's awesome. Also, speaking of docs, I am doing a wiki on the Discord. If you do want to see a whole documentation of scripting and macros, we're gonna make that on the Discord for free for anybody. Right now, I have me, Peach, and Henry being the writers. But if I see that you've done like great experimentation and you've learned a lot, and like you know that you have some stuff to say, to educate people, then feel free to DM me as well. And we can talk about getting you set up to be a writer for that. But I'm keeping it closed, so it's not just open to the public, so I don't have spam. And also, people who are new to Discord are going to use it as a help field, because people don't know how to use Discord, and they also can't read words. Apparently, I've learned. Apparently, reading the words. Let's see what exactly I called this. I have an exact thing called all tools bugs, and it has barely been used. Oh yeah, no, it goes over my head a little bit too. That's why I'm gonna have to like dig into that. I did figure out the problem, Doc. I did. Everything is looking really good now. Everything's looking really pretty. It's no longer fucked up. I realized that I was still doing it right. I just didn't have the value for my situation, and then I had to set everything up to do similar stuff, all that kind of stuff. Words. Yeah, I have a. Yeah, you have a question? Is there a way to add keyframes using LuaScript and controller easing? That's what that link is, actually. That link that I just sent in the Discord or in the chat a little bit ago, that is an entire conversation between two of the Discord members, and they are talking about that exact question. Literally that exact question. Right after Sleeveless asked it too. It's a very common question, apparently. It's something I haven't researched before, but I do know it exists. I've looked into it at some point, but I've not understood it as much as Henry does. Henry is pretty good with keyframes and curves, from what I've noticed. So that's why I also chose him for a wiki writer for that reason. My first thought was just program a button like you talked about in your button video, but I figured there might be a little more efficient ways. Yes. I got dead skin. People do that in every Discord. Seriously though, I have an all tools bug thing. Like I have this channel, and it has one post because people can't read the words that say this is the bug report field for all the tools. It says it, and instead they go to the scripting help and macro help, or the macro creator bug reports. If you don't know what the macro creator is, maybe don't go to that field. Maybe don't try to ask a question there. If you don't know what you're looking at, don't mess with it. It's common sense. People, yeah, I've gotten very riled up over here on the other side of the screen when I've looked at Discord messages from people, because I'm just like, please read. I understand that you're new to, that you're new to Discord. Read, and maybe I won't get mad at you. But then again, in any field, in any profession, even if you're a person cooking up burgers at a McDonald's, that's still professional. That's still a profession. But like, you have people who will walk up to your door where it says close and try to open it and then get upset that it's not open. Like, that just happens. Program the button to unhook and disable the nodes. Yeah. That's what I showed off in the video. Yep. Because you have. Did I show that off in the video? Yeah, I did. Yeah. For the button. The help section is popping off. It is like the help chat itself is popping off. But then like the channels inside the help section aren't. I might just delete the macro creator bug reports just because it's not really being used by many people. And I've fixed, I think, most of these bugs. The tabs thing that you were experiencing a little while ago, yeah, it looks like I fixed that. It looks like I was missing a variable. Yeah, I think everything in this list has been fixed. So I think I'm okay to just delete this channel, because I'm not getting anyone from the beta asking questions or having problems. Yeah, the macro creator bug reports has 2 from sleeveless and 1 from essential, and that is it. So I might just remove it because I haven't had any other people from any other parts of the bug report or the betas testings actually report any bugs, so that's fun. Right, your question is sleeveless. I keep going everywhere else. Your question, you can use anim curves for this of what you're looking for. Let me quickly, we'll do it in this project, sure. So let's say that I have an animation on my image here, which is this little dust piece over here. I have a transform node, and this is, I'm sure, going to be the exact same situation for like a P emitter, but this is just, you know, showing it off with like a slider. I'm guessing since that's what you're going to be using for P emitters. You can modify with anim curves. We can give it the values that we want, so we want it to start at 0 and go up to 1. Let's get rid of this animation for now. So it starts out at 0, goes up to 1. You can see it slowly happening over there. And then we can change it to custom. This will use keyframes though. If you use, okay, I might just tell you to not use anim curves and just tell you to use anim utility, because I know how that's gonna work better for this. Instead of me trying to explain how to make an expression for this, it may just be easier for me to just tell you. It kind of sucks. You had people from WeSuck. You know, I had people from the WeSuck Less forum. I had a couple, although to be fair, a lot of them just gave me responses on the WeSuck Less forum, which is not what I asked for. So back to the thing about people not reading words and not following instructions. Also not seeing a big button on the screen that said report a bug. People just weren't using that feature. It's in this finished build, but I doubt people are going to actually use it. You know, people were giving me some things over there, but they weren't bug reports. But also, to be fair, either people weren't using it very often, or they just never encountered a bug. And I've had a lot of cases where there just weren't that many bugs that actually were in this thing, which I'm very surprised about. Also very pleased about. At its current state, I don't know if I can answer that the same way. So I might just say use my anim utility, because if you set the size is what I meant to type in. If you set the animation, you can use buttons to change these values, and these will change when the animation happens, for how long, the actual values of the animation. So like, you can do it this way. And to my knowledge, this may be the best way to do it efficiently. Unless you want to try to figure out the logic for that code. That's what you use. I finally understand how anim utility works. It seems difficult, and I did my best to make this as easy as it is currently to use. My very first version of this was horrendous. There was controls out ass. It was very, very confusing. It used the same idea of like switching between these things, I think, but no, I think it just used, you know, it just used frames from what I remember. So you were stuck using frames. These were named something different, so they were confusing. But I also have to like explain it still, because the logic of it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to somebody who, I don't know, isn't thinking like anim curves. Like, this is essentially mirroring it. I don't know how to best to describe it. Like, if you cut the comp in half, this is a mirror of this. Like, if you cut the comp in half and fold this over to here, that might make more sense mentally, but that's still really weird. Like, it's a weird way to just try to describe it, which is why I also have this feature so we can swap the way it's calculating. So instead of calculating from this end to the left, it'll calculate the same exact way, so you can like put the actual frame number in of when you want the out to start happening. But that also means that it won't happen at the end of the comp regardless. There are lots of buttons. There are indeed lots of buttons. But yeah, I'd legit just say the anim utility is the best way to do it. I hate to just plug my own tool there and not just give you another answer, but trying to also remember the expression to make anim curves adaptable to anything you put into it is... I have to like dissect Alex's code because he uses something very different than what I have. For anim utility, I'm using 2 different anim curves to get 2 different curves for in and out, which that's like one of the features that I wanted. But Alex uses a single one, which means he has the math in one anim curve to handle both going in and going out of the comp. So it's very big. It's a very big expression. I have sent it to people before. In fact, I think I created a quick tool for it. The spot for seconds and frames confused me, and then I realized the calculate from start or end could make it not symmetrical. Should have watched till the end of the video. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you definitely need to watch my video to actually understand what we were talking about for that, for sure. Also, if you ever see this, don't worry about it. That just happens. That happens with Alex's tool too. Whenever you have anim curves, they are annoying as hell because they're constantly making errors for like no reason. Because they'll work. They just want to cry about it first. Okay. Let's turn this into an atom. Most of this is not going to be able to be done right now because I have to dig into how they're setting up the file, which I don't know off the top of my head. I have some guesses. I would put it into a table and then just paste it. But yeah, I don't want to. But I also don't think that they're doing it that way. Did you know there's a game called Who's Got the Button? I did not know that. Did not know there was a game called that. Like a game show or like a card/board game? It's a board game. Oh, yeah. Is it like a Clue kind of thing? It sounds like a Clue kind of game. Like you have to figure it out like through investigation. Interesting. So if it's in this, okay. Okay, but then you what? Okay, that's really weird. I think what I'm gonna do when you first open the window, it's gonna set the plain text to set up for paragraphs. So we're gonna do this equals the string of a paragraph HTML call with a space in between. I I think that's going to be helpful for the user because then they'll be like, oh, okay, this is like HTML document stuff. It's pretty easy to just start typing in here. Cool. That's my hope anyway. Yeah, so then they just have this, and they can start typing stuff in, and it will add it to the other line. Cool stuff. Yeah, and that avoids the problem of it just not adding it to the other line because it's an asshole. Unless I messed something up. No, that's all. That all still has that. I think when I'm making the header, it adds a line break. Okay. All right. I think let's start giving these functions. Let's start adding functionality for browsing and opening the folders. Yeah. Interesting. I haven't seen the new Willy Wonka. I haven't really cared too much about it. I did like him in Dune, but those are very different movies. That was Gene Wilder, right? I'm thinking of the right person, or am I thinking of somebody else? I might be thinking about somebody else. Gene Wilder might be like one of the original ones. I don't remember. You can tell how cultured I am with my movies. Okay, let's, yeah. I don't know why I closed those. Yeah, all this has functionality. We don't need to get any of this information yet. The user just has to store it in these, and then we'll get it when they press save. I think. So then they save to Atom folder. Tiddlywinks? I think I've heard about that one. Something like that I've heard about. Sorry, I'm literally everywhere right now. Why do I keep closing this? Stop closing it. Right, we need to get the browse folder. What is that ID called for this button? Browse folder, right there. Perfect. So this one's going to be function when on browse folder clicked. There's also a sneak peek into the next scripting video, because the next video I'm actually showing you how to do this. So to browse the folder, let's get path. Let's try to find it. I have lots of instances of this function, so it is bound to show up somewhere. Yeah. Request file, we can just request directory. Yaw. Let's go back up to the top. Holy crap. No, Gene Wilder is from the old. Oh, it's like the original one? Oh, okay. My bad. I like how that thinks that it's a link. This is the example from the other one. I just stole it. I need to come down here. So when the user clicks it, it's going to request a directory, which is just a folder. It's going to bring you to not the saves folder. This is looking for the location. Is there a documents call? Is there a documents thing in here? Because I might just have to. I might have to make one. Can you get the documents from Fusion? So if you guys don't know, you have path maps, and you can actually see all the shorthands you guys can do to get to different folders, which you can do after you download the macro creator. You're able to do downloads // and then the rest of the file path, and this puts you into the downloads folder. No, that's this week. That's this week. Unless I messed up my scheduling. But I'm alternating between the sub button and scripting. Like 1 week is the scripting, 1 week is macros. I'm doing that to delay how long it takes me to release those videos, because when those videos are done, I'm going to combine all of the macro series into one video, release it as a masterclass, and at the same time release another video of me making a macro with the new macro creator, and I'm going to create another video of me releasing the macro creator, showing off the two videos and being like, hey, this took me 0 time at all to do this. Here's the actual realistic time comparison. This is why you should get this tool. It'll save you actual dollars and actual hours of your life. Because I'm willing to bet that the final macro video is going to be like over 2 hours long, combined everything together. It's going to be maybe 3 hours long. It's going to be a long video of just information dump. I'm going to try to organize it as best I can. I might have to retroactively go back and add chapters to it, because I'm going to try to produce those videos quickly, but I'm also going to try to combine things sooner than later. Yeah, the latest video was scripting. I'm also going to combine the scripting videos eventually, but there's a lot to do with scripting that I may not do that until I've covered all of the basics, which might take a while. So it looks like I need to add a mapping for documents. I don't see that they have documents in here anywhere. Yeah, right? It's really smart, I think. Like a legit comparison. Yeah, it's really, really helpful. It also really helps people to see, yeah, this is going to save me a lot of time. It's not just going to be like, oh yeah, it's just a cool tool, whatever. Whatever. Little modules. It's a reactor thing. But it's also not a reactor. Ah, there is one for reactor. Let me show you how to make a path map, because we're going to make a path map for documents, because this doesn't exist yet. Is it like that? Yeah. So if we come down here, let's get rid of this, to our install script, when we install it, we are creating 2 different folders, 2 different quick access folders. One for the macro creator default folder, and one for your user downloads. I'm also going to create one for documents, username, .. / documents. And I believe that's going to work for Mac and Windows. Possibly also Linux, but I don't have any confirmation. I can put that in there, capitalize the D, and now if we were to install the script, it might take even longer, because every time we add one of these lines of code, it takes a minute for it to install. Oops, what happened? Oh, does it not like what I did up there? Okay. If I do this... Oh, I have to put it in a string. Oh, that's my bad. Did not even think about putting it into a string. There we go. Oh, we can also get rid of this, because we're looking... Actually, we can get rid of everything except for the title, because this is requesting a directory. So we can get... home Atom directory. Sure. I don't think that's spelled right. And then just for our sake, for like testing, let's go ahead and put the text. So this is going to, so let me quickly explain what this is doing. So when we are requesting the directory or file, there's two different versions. This, I don't know what this first string is, to be completely honest. I might look into that before I try to teach you about that in a video. Then this is going to be where you are. And if you're requesting a file, we can also put in an abbreviated version, or not an abbreviated version, but we can put in the suggested file name with the file extension in here as well. And that will give it the location and what we want to be saving. So that's really helpful for things like the macro creator. But this is going to put us into the documents directory. It's going to ask us for the directory, and the title of the window, the File Explorer window, is going to say this. When you click on open, in this instance, since we're opening a directory, it will set this path value or variable as the actual file path. In this case, it's going to use the documents shorthand and then the rest of the file path name if we actually get it from documents, but we'll look at that when we are doing that. So if we type in win item, because that is our call for get items. If we do it dot, what is the folder text called? So line edit folder path. Dot text is equal to path. Now, if we were to run it, or first we have to install it. It is taking a second longer, I feel like. And run this. Give it a dummy name and open up Reactor. Now, if we browse, we're brought to our desktop, which is not correct. Should be brought to here. Oh, is it because there's no folder here? I think it's because there was no folder there. Let's try it again. I think it just brought us to our main stuff. Let me look at my path maps. Yeah, it looks like that didn't quite work for that. Okay, let's delete that one. Okay, workspace, scripts, me. Okay, now it's in documents. Yeah, I just needed to have the other slash there to tell that it's a folder. So this is going to put it in documents because I would say documents is not a bad place to store your stuff for this because it's where your documents are. Okay, let me readjust. So you can select this folder and then it will just put the documents short tag in there. But if you choose a different folder like downloads, this is going to put the downloads shorthand. But if you put desktop, it'll just put your desktop file path. If you have the path maps, then it will always default to the shorthand because that's how it handles files. But if you don't, then it'll do that. And even if it has the path map in there, it will understand, and hopefully you'll understand what that means. Let's then... Yeah, I think when we do browse, it's going to do more than just browse. I think it's going to also put in the this information right here into this folder. So then we can do... Ooh, yep, okay. Let's do documents. Yeah, and we can do concatenate, and then we want the other text. in other fields. Let's see. We want it to get the author name. Where are we at? Here we are. First we need just com dot. Then we need to get the author name dot text. Conjugate that. Or not dots. Sorry. This is you know, this is no, sorry, I'm doing this right. We can do dot 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 this again, but instead of author name, we need to get the package name, which is our tool name. And for both of these, we need to, I think, remove any spaces, which we can do pretty easily, which I'll show you here in a minute. So let me get the tool name, which is just called tool name. Okay. Yeah, so we can do string dot sub, maybe G sub. We can give it the string, and then we give it what to substitute, a space, and then what to substitute it with. It would be nothing, I think. Is that right? Oh, let's give it G sub then. Yeah, G sub's what we're looking for. So this is what we're looking for in the string, and this is what we're going to replace it with. So we're looking for a space. We're going to replace it with a nothing, with an empty, which is just deleting a space. So we can give this now over to this one as well. Give it the ending. All right, I think we're good there. Oh, we also need to add a / to tell that this is a folder. If I've lost you, I'm so sorry. I'm going through this pretty fast, and there's a lot that I'm going over. We're about 2 hours into the stream. Do you guys feel like we've answered any questions you guys had? We've gone long enough? If you guys want to see more of this, let me know. Let me browse. Let's select a... It didn't select documents. Yeah, look at that. That is the correct thing. Why didn't we go to documents? Does this need to be the other slash? Okay, I did notice that this is printing regardless of if it is successful or not. So I might try to figure out if it's successful or not and like respond to that accordingly, because it's being weird. But for right now, for the downloads thing, it's a /. Yeah, it's the same thing I'm doing here. So why did this bring me to the wrong place? It is a different thing. Oh, no, because it's called a request directory. I knew that. I use this in other places, didn't I? I'm confused. I could have sworn I used this somewhere else. Do I not? I have to restart this. Yeah. Oh no, I did that for the video. That's why I'm remembering that I did it. I do it for the next video for scripting. Let me open up my scripts and open that up. Doesn't this bring me to a folder? Oh, this is the wrong file. This is the tutorial file. The lesson file. Oh, we don't look at a specific folder. Maybe if I do that. Maybe it just needs one field. Right, I was doing this. Okay. Look, we're in Documents. If I go back to Downloads and reopen it, we're in Documents. If I close this, reopen it, let's look at like this folder over here, for example. So we like browse this, and we're in Downloads. Go to re-export reactor. We're in Documents. Okay, that worked. Cool. Okay. Yeah. And it created, it's not creating the folder yet, but it is setting up for that. And then I think whenever you open, it'll open up and create that directory. So what we're going to do, not copy this yet. I think we're just going to open folder. So function win.on dot open folder, I believe, and then clicked ev. We then just need to bmd dot create dir, give it the directory, and then bmd dot open, not open file, or not open URL, let me, Notion, good things to know. This is all of the BMD things you can do, by the way. There's a lot, so I just have it in a document. Get file path, get file name, create dir, that's what we just did. File exists, directory exists, get current directory. And there's a way to open folders. Oh, wait, no. There is, but we're doing it a different way because there's a slight weirdness happening whenever I try to do it. Whenever I open a folder, it always ends up behind DaVinci instead of over it, which is where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to go through and find that bit of code, which let's close that entire thing. It's on help, yes. That's opening URL. So not help. Sorry. Not help. edit. Open macros folder right here. So open Atom folder, and we need to get this directory. There we go. So this is checking what OS you're on. If you're on Windows, I think this is Linux or Mac, and then it will act accordingly. We'll try to open it with different links. Now I know there's a way to open up with BMD. There's open file external, which I think is what we're looking for. Maybe. I know it's there. I just don't remember what it is. Then you can do one line to do all this. It just puts it behind DaVinci, which I don't want to have the user have to deal with. So let's install. Let's open her up. I missed the macro creator. I was very confused. I didn't think I saw it. Export, browse. Let's select in here. We just want it to be in documents. I don't know, let's browse again. Let's make another bin, another folder for DaVinci Reactor Atoms. Let's select that folder. That makes more sense. Okay. And when we open it, it'll create it. I have a feeling I know why it just did that. Yeah, it's because of this. What we need to do is we need to get that information. I think if we do toString, I think that'll work. That's what they're doing in some other locations, in other projects. I haven't gotten a message, by the way. If people are chatting, I don't see you. I just want to make sure that that is known. I'm not just ignoring messages. I literally don't see any messages coming in. But that could also just mean no one's messaging at the moment, which is fine. Don't feel the need to message. I just want to make sure that I'm not losing it like I did last stream. If you missed last stream, that was a whole little while that I was just stuck in no man's land with no idea if people could hear me, if they couldn't. Do I have any new chats in here? No, there's no new chats. We're good. Okay. I just didn't want to lose my mind. Figured the phone was the fastest way. Did I already? I think I already installed it. I legit have no idea. Shit, I missed. Test. This one. Let's see, where's DaVinci Reactor Atoms? Select folder. Open. Can't open it. Did I not install this? I don't know if I did or not. Either way, we can do. Not get data, but we can do comp path map. And that will give us what we need. We don't need to parse any file names. Let's collapse the UI. So I don't think we need the UI anymore. So we just need to do this, and this will give us the full version of the file path. Which means that you don't have to worry about having the shorthand. How DaVinci handles it. We can take a look at this. Also, the music stopped again because it hates me. So we open it up. We choose our reactor atom. Open. Hey! Created our folder just that we wanted. Perfect. Give us the name of everything. Great. Yeah, this is perfect. It's great. I think if we try to create it again, it won't create it. It'll just try to override it, which won't override the contents. It'll just try to override the folder, which won't do anything. It'll just try to recreate the folder again, but that won't cause anything to happen. So I guess we're fine. So now we have the folder structure, which is what we've been looking for a minute. Where did my other folders go? This is the example that they gave us, or not that they gave us, but that was made from the original package. We can see that looks pretty good. That's the same folder and everything. And then we just need to create a file inside of it that has .atom inside of it. And I think we're going to do that when they press open as well. Yeah. Do we have a method for creating a file? Otherwise, I'll have to do it the other way, which is fine. It's just more finicky. Can I look? Can I search? Create directory. Create UUID. There's no create file. So I can't like generate a file. You're gonna parse. Oh, wait. Interesting. Anyway. You can do that with BMD. Oh. I didn't need to have that function. Oh well. We can read a file, we can write a file, but we can't make a file. Can I search for the word make? I doubt it. No. I can ask AI. Wow, so helpful. Okay, that just means I have to do it in a way that I don't want to have to do it, but it shouldn't be too hard with BMD. I'm so upset about having to do it because I have to do BMD, check to see if the file exists. If it doesn't exist, then create it. But yeah, I think if we just do local file exists and set this equal to BMD dot file exists. Literally just file exists. Okay. File exists. We give it the file, not just this. But we also have to give it the atom as well. So we have to do pretty much all of this again. Except for that at the end. Because at the end instead, we are going to be doing 2 dots and dot atom. So it's going to check to see if that file exists. And I believe that's going to give us a true or false. So it's print file exists. I don't know if it's going to give us true or false or not, but let's find out. Export for reactor. Let's choose that same folder path. We don't need to choose the folder itself, otherwise we'll create recursive folders. So we just select that as the main folder path. It'll make the atom for us. Then we'll just open it. And that, yep, it gave us a true or false. Perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. So then we're going to check if not file exists. If not, let's give it the whole if then. If not file exists, which is exactly what it sounds like it's saying, then we want to create the file, which we can do by os dot os. I fucking forgot again. I'm always forgetting how to create files, but I do that at the bottom. Where is my save? Oop, is it way up here? Fill controls, remove, keep lines, export, save file. Here we go. So we need to, we've already created the directory. IO, oh, okay, it's io.open. So if we just do io.open, and then give it the full thing, this full guy. And don't even give it right, I believe. If we just do it like this, I believe it'll just create it. And I'm just gonna make a thing called successfully created atom. I think if we give it the file, I think it'll just give it the file path. But I don't know. We can also clear this now. Let's take a look. Test, export for reactor, browse, go in here, select it and open it. It's tempted to conjugate local file a nil value. Oh, is it because I have to give it right? Or, yeah, I have to give it the W for writing. But if I give it an, just writing is fine. Okay, and then I think that should work fine. So I'm letting the user create a file whenever they open it, so they can see what the folders are going to look like and what the system's going to look like. And then when they go to save it, it'll try to create the files again in case they didn't ever open the location. Because I'm guessing most likely they're not going to. This is just if they do, they'll be able to see the entire folder structure and everything inside of the atom. Interesting. A user data value. Okay, well that's fine. It created the file still. Which can only be opened up in VS Code. But yeah, look at that. It is the exact same type of file as one of these. Perfect. So now we are getting somewhere. The file itself is going to be empty when they get it, I'm thinking. Because none of the information is set in stone, which is also why I'm also so hesitant to create these folders. Okay, okay. So let me write down what I'm wanting to do maybe. So when uh, if there's text in this field, I want to check if either of these two are changed. If one of them has changed, then update the field. I think is what I want to do. So that regardless of if they've done this later and then come back and change the company name or author name, then they won't have to rebrowse and reselect. It'll just update for them. I think that makes the most sense. Oh yeah, let's just do file close. Just so that we can end the file. I don't need to check nil for this, I'm just closing it. I'm already checking if it's not existing. I don't need you to do that for me. Whatever. We can see to not have to recreate it because it's already existing. Good. But I think what I will do is I'll store this information in another variable. If they open it, if they open it, I'll store the information in a variable for that version, I think, of the folder. So local, not local in this case, original folder path is equal to this nonsense. Oh yeah, this nonsense, out to here. Good. That was a lot of work just to set up a button that essentially will open a file and create open a folder and create a file. Any questions? It's been a while since anybody's messaged in chat, so unless there's no questions, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Just because there's no interest in the stream continuing, so I think I'll go ahead and end it. And just continue working on my own for a while. But I'll leave the floor open for a little bit longer. If there's any questions, I'll answer them. Yeah, no problem. I hope you enjoyed me stumbling through making some code today. I hope it was interesting to watch. And hopefully I can help make code interesting in the future. There's a lot more to this project. The atomizer is going to take the longest out of anything else because there's a lot to do with it. But I think we're pretty close to being done with the atomizer itself. Then we also have to then, after the atomizer's finished, finish up opening up old files, which if you guys haven't seen that, let me show it to you. So if you guys open up or if you guys want to open up an old macro, we just have an empty project here. I recommend having an empty project because that will make the most sense. And then you can activate the macro creator, ignore that message. I need to get rid of that message from popping up. And then if you create open, what's happening here? Oh, I didn't account for that. Okay. Well, I need to fix something. I didn't realize that I did that. But, oh yeah, no, that's really dumb of me. Why'd I do it like that? That makes so much sense why it's doing this. Anyway. But you'll be able to open the file and it will add all the nodes into your comp, and then it's going to add all the controls that were on the macro into the control preview, and I think it's also going to store your user data, your user controls also in this table, but any user controlled data, if it's not a table or if it's not a tab, like if it's setting a value of one of the macro user controls or like macro control, I'm going to try to store that stuff into a separate table so that it can be called later on. I'm going to try, but you may also lose information if you have stuff set like that. So this may not be made for people who have previously done things a different way of making macros. This is done for people who I think make macros the simplest, because there's other ways to make it that just aren't easy, and there's not really a reason to do it certain ways that I feel like are just wastes of time. But that's me. I'm going to try to fix that before next stream and show it to you guys. It won't be that hard of a fix. In fact, next stream, this might be done. I might just be bug fixing stuff. We'll see. I also have a lot of things that need answered, because a lot of things that I've like half finished, but I haven't been able to actually finish yet because I don't know how to do it. And no one is responding to messages. So it is a drought out here trying to figure out some information about stuff. Yeah. But if you want to join the Discord, I'm posting updates for the macro creator like every single day. So join the Discord. I sent the link earlier. It's also in the description of this video. It's one of the, I think it's the bottom link. And you can go hop over there and ask questions, learn what I'm up to, all kinds of jazz. But anyway, that's going to be it for tonight. I hope you guys have a good weekend and a good week. I'll catch you guys on Friday. See ya.